Thanks for joining me on iHeartRadio and the Tech of Sports this week. And gonna talk about a great new racket sports app debuting, and it's called courtsapp. And great to be joined by the founder, Darren Hornig. And Darren, thanks for coming on this week.
Oh, thanks for having me. Very excited.
Yeah, now able to make reservations for racket courts in the Northeast, paddle sports, racket sports, pickleball on the rise. Really an exciting time, and this app fits a need.
Yeah, we think so. One of the biggest frustrations, actually 74% of people who play racket sports, that their number one frustration was finding and booking courts easily. So we think we'll be able to satisfy millions of people across the country.
Yeah, it has been a need, and live now to players with access to more than 1,500 courts, 150 plus facilities, and growing. And is growth really part of your plan? Growth on the East Coast and then spreading?
Absolutely. We're just starting out. From a business perspective, you have to start somewhere, right? So, similar to how Uber, started in San Francisco, then went to Austin, right? They needed drivers to drive, their customers, and you can't roll out all markets until you have critical mass. So we started in the Northeast. One, because we had strong relationships there, and the majority of our team is based in the Northeast. So our strategic plan is the Northeast, predominantly the tri-state area, where, like you said, we have 150 facilities, 1,500 courts, which is pretty sizable. It would make us the largest court company in the world based on the number of courts we have that has no membership and easy access.
Sure.
And what we're going to do is keep building out the Northeast. But now we're starting to migrate down the East Coast into Florida, where we have a few hundred courts already. So we'll finish, the Eastern Seaboard, I believe, by the first quarter. We'll keep adding courts over time, but we'll have enough density that we can really start marketing there. But most importantly, make sure, the customer players experience, is robust enough that if you go to a market, there's enough availability, right? Like right now, California, we have, about a dozen clubs signed up. We just haven't put them on yet. So if you're in California, you're just not going to have, a use case.
Sure.
But by the end of next year, we'll be national, and we'll probably start migrating into Canada also.
Great to be talking with New York entrepreneur Darren Hornig. Also, he's debuting his new app, developer of courtsapp. And Darren, for the player, take us through kind of the process. It starts just with downloading the app, and then is everything pretty easy after that?
It's very easy. So we're live and available on both the Apple Store and the Google Store.
Yep.
So you just simply put in courtsapp. It shows up as number 1, 2, or 3. So our ranking, accelerated pretty quickly. You download the app, and you're live. And you sign up, simply with, your email name, email address, and phone number. You're live. We don't need any credit card info until you book a court. And it's typical search criteria. You put in the location you want. You can put in your current location, and we use geocoding to determine where you are. Or you put the location you want to search. You press the date and time. You press the sport: tennis, pickleball, paddle, squash, racquetball, table tennis, or badminton. So we do all racket sports. You press search, and it shows you in a list view all the court availability and the times and the surface. And it shows you a map view to give you an idea of where you are in proximity. So very typical use criteria of other popular, apps such as, Airbnb, OpenTable, Uber. So we're really making it easy. I mean, it's literally 3 clicks and you're out.
Love that.
We're fully integrated with Stripe. We're integrated with Stripe, so we have all the Stripe credit cards and Link. On Apple, it's integrated with Apple Pay. So it's very easy. And then we're taking another level of approach and sophistication that you could add your reservation into your calendar. You could share it with your friends, because typically you're not playing these sports alone. So if you're playing, doubles in pickleball, I could share it with my 3 friends, and they get the invite, and they save it, just like you do a calendar invite, on our typical means. So
sure.
we're taking the sophistication and the technology, making it simple, but yet standard of how people are typically utilizing technology to make their life easier, right? You want to play the sport, you want to have fun, it shouldn't be an obstacle finding a court. Like, no more. You don't need 6 apps or 6 phone calls to find a court. You just go to courtsapp, and we'll show you those 6 courts, and you book right then and there, the same rate you would pay. We're at par for non-member pricing. The clubs are not allowed to increase the pricing like they do on DoorDash. We are at par.
Gotcha.
So if it's $40 an hour for making a phone call, it's $40 an hour for going on courtsapp.
Gotcha. There's been in the past, there's been tons of golf apps like this that have secured tee times for people. I definitely see what you're doing, but also as a bonus on the facility side, this is helping facilities integrate with their current court management systems and sell inventory maybe they wouldn't have been able to sell in the past.
That's exactly right. The owners of the court management systems, we're talking to all of them, have relationships with all of them, and proceeding, with a handful of them right now. The 5 biggest, in fact, is what we focus on, and all 5 of them agree this is a value add, right? When you look at the racket sports industry, the management systems are great, and they do a great job managing inside the 4 walls, right? And by that I mean managing, the time and availability of courts, managing the pro shop, managing the accounting, but they don't do the marketing. And where we're focused on is really focused on marketing to the players who want to play the games and get out there in front of them. And we're spending the money on the marketing, and there's no company out there that is 100% booked 100% of the time, right? A club that performs well is typically 80 to 90% booked in prime time, but only 10 to 20% booked in off-peak hours.
Right. And
that comes to approximately 50 to 60% of court time utilization. So there's a lot of court time that becomes, a perishable commodity that can't be used again. Same thing as a hotel room, same thing as an airline ticket. Once that plane takes off, you're not selling that ticket again. So our philosophy is we might as well sell it and get players in there. It adds value to the facility because they're clearly they wouldn't make money, but it also gives you an opportunity to, show them a membership or other aspects, that could be valuable to that player. Yeah. So it's really a win-win-win, right? It's a win for the facility, it's a win for the player, and it's a win for us that we're able, to help people out and really grow the games, because that's what it's all about at the end of the day, getting more people on the courts. Yeah,
it's never been more exciting to be involved in racket sports, and that includes pickleball, and you have a nice partnership you're announcing with Dynamic Universal Pickleball Rating that's going to possibly be huge for the pickleball community.
Absolutely. We announced it today. We have a partnership with Duper. That's what it's commonly known as. Duper, as you know, is the rating system for pickleball, a level, from 1 to 6 that tells you, your level of play. And, the rationale behind that is you typically want to play with players in your competitive range, right? It's more fun. I'm a 4 1/4. I like playing with people, 3-7-5 to 5-0, so it's competitive, and you're all enjoying the game better. But the relationship we have with Duper is fantastic. They're going to be integrating their system into courtsapp. So ultimately, we're going to have a social network type component that you can find players to play with, find open plays that have Duper ratings, and find tournaments that have Duper ratings, and keep it consistent. And what's exciting about the relationship here is that quid pro quo is that we're going to be integrating in Duper that people on the Duper app can find courts. So they'll be able to find courts through courtsapp right in the Duper app. You don't even have to leave it. So it's really a great partnership. The team, at Duper, led by Tito and David Katz, very smart entrepreneurs. And it benefits both of us. And once again, most importantly, it benefits the players. And Duper has 8,000 facilities. So we're going to be sending more players to those facilities and make it easier. Because once you take friction out of the e-commerce component, it makes it easier and gets more people going.
Yeah.
DoorDash has done the same thing for the restaurant industry. It's really boosted restaurant sales because the typical restaurant that did not have a delivery infrastructure can now deliver food and make money and not have to have people, sitting at a table. So we're approaching it the same way, and we're really excited about the prospects going forward.
Yeah, reaching 1.5 million and growing pickleball players is huge, and they love technology. And that's groundbreaking for you guys. And we'll put all the rest of the information in the show notes, Darren. And if people want to find out more about courtsapp, of course, available in the Apple Store and Google Play Store. But is there a place online they can go to learn more as well?
Yeah, go to courtsapp.com. You go right to courtsapp and find the website. On there's a contact us button. So if anybody wants to contact us or talk, if you're a facility, there's a facility tab on the top of the bar. You just request more info, and we'll have one of our account executives reach out and try to help you get onboarded. But it's really a win-win for the facilities. We don't charge anything. We give them our software for free, and we're only compensated to the extent we bring you a player. So there's no downside. It's not a long-term commitment with the facility. It's a year contract, but they can cancel at any time. So we're trying to make it easy. It's like just break down the barriers. You want to come in, you don't need a membership fee. Sign up, go have fun and play, and hopefully people utilize us the same way they're utilizing DoorDash, Open Table, Uber, etc. Because we're breaking down the barriers and making it easier for people to play the games they love.
Yep, the most successful apps are the easiest to use, and really appreciate you coming on. And best of luck. We'll keep tabs on this. And Darren, thanks so much for the information, and great success to you.
Thank you for your time. I really appreciate the opportunity to be on your show. It's great.